Well, folks, in today's video, we're going to be going through several boxes of an old model train collection I acquired recently. Basically, a few days ago, I was out at the ranch and my friend Ray came up to me and she said that her uncle had brought a whole bunch of different model train stuff home from this guy named Brian, who I guess has seen the channel a couple times before. Anyways, all of this belonged to his father and he's been looking to give it away to somebody, so he figured it was a good fit, and they ended up bringing it all back, so I went to go see it. And I was pretty surprised to see there was, all this stuff. I didn't expect there to be quite so much. So anyways, I loaded it all up and here we are today. So I figured we'll go through it all. We'll figure out what exactly is in here. I've only had a brief look. I pulled the tops of both these bins off, but that's all I've seen so far. And apparently there's some really interesting stuff in here, including rolling stock, track, buildings, balsa wood bridge, all sorts of different things. So I'm really excited to see how all this stuff exactly looks. So anyways, we'll go through it all, we'll assess what exactly it is, and yeah, maybe we'll be able to fix some of this stuff up and use it. So we'll start right here. We've got a couple locomotive sheds. We've got this smaller one right here, which looks to be in pretty good shape for the most part. You can see it's missing its doors, but overall, not that bad. Got some sort of a water tower. Unfortunately, it's missing its lid. Hopefully that will be in one of the boxes, because otherwise it looks pretty nice. And then we've got this. I don't know if you'd call this a roundhouse, but in any case, it looks to be scratch built. It's kind of in rough condition, but still a really cool piece. I bet with a little bit of restoration, this could be something really nice. And I happen to notice too, a lot of the parts are still here, so with a little bit of work, we could definitely glue a lot of that stuff back on. So that's it for the first box. Now up here, as you can see, we've got this turntable. This has been damaged. It's not perfectly circular now, so it won't actually turn all the way around manually. But we might be able to fix that. Either way, it looks to be pretty interesting. It's also got some sort of a drive mechanism on the bottom. I think it's missing its belt, but wouldn't this be a cool thing to incorporate on the layout? Inside of the weed whacker box, as I believe, is the balsa wood bridge, so I think we'll open that up towards the end. What I really want to do right now is open up one of those boxes. We'll start with this one right here. So right off the bat, we have some sort of a house, which looks to be from about the 1960s. Ranch house. I don't know if I've ever heard of that manufacturer before. This has got to be from the 50s or something. I don't know. This looks to be part of some sort of a bridge kit. A whole bunch of different trusses. Possibly the instructions too. That's nice. And we've got a whole bunch of old brass track. Some old Atlas wiring. This has got to be something from quite a bit before my time. I don't recognize this brand. Kind of a neat little controller. I have no idea what this is. Maybe some sort of a controller? I don't know, maybe it's for lighting or something like that. I suspect whatever this is associated with that. Oh, no way. This is from the Insider Express. So basically, years ago here in Canada, we've got this grocery store called President's Choice, and they sell like Loblaws and all these different places. They had Mahano make train sets, and they sold a bunch of different stuff under that brand. So I guess this was part of that. This was probably all from about the early 2000s here. So some of this is a little bit newer than a lot of what we've seen. Whole bunch of track. And more Atlas track. I think this might be a kit for a cardboard building. Some sort of a signal tower. Whole bunch of different trusses. Wow, even more track. Look at all of that. Yeah, some of this stuff is not in the best shape, but we'll try to salvage as much as we can here. Check out these old decals. These have got to be from either the 50s or 60s would be my guess. Hobby line. Champion decals. There's one for a Canadian Pacific passenger car set. So yeah, a whole bunch of different decals. I have no idea if any of these would even work anymore. I don't know if they go bad after a certain point, but either way, they look really cool. I was hoping this was going to be in there. Bingo. See, I don't think this is a locomotive. It might be some sort of a kit for something. Okay, we got a whole bunch of telegraph poles, fences, things like that. There's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Some sort of a platform, maybe. Rest of it's pretty much just a grass track. Got another one of those unusual platforms. I think that about does it for this box here. Let's move on to the second one here. Some sort of old signal tower. And another one. This one is actually die cast. That's pretty cool. With a little bit of paint, I think that could look quite nice, actually. Here looks to be a whole bunch of AC Markland track. I wouldn't expect to find something like this amongst a whole bunch of old DC track. Looks to be in pretty good shape by what I can tell. Looks like we've got some pieces of rolling stock in here. Got a caboose by Bachmann, Santa Fe. Western Maryland. It's another Bachmann piece. Rio Grande boxcar. I think this is another Bachmann. Hobby line. Okay, we've got some sort of a tank car in here. Yep. I suspect this is another Bachmann piece. Maybe it's by Tyco, I'm not sure. Ooh, another tank car. Baby Ruth, America's favorite candy. And then we got a die-cast Southern Pacific flat car of some sort. All this stuff looks to be in pretty good shape. Like to have more rolling stock. Got a couple of small hoppers. I think those are by Athearn. Got a Varney boxcar of some sort, Atlantic Coastline. It's a pretty dandy little Great Northern boxcar. I think this is... Oh, no, it's not Varney. It's another Hobby line. Ontario Northland, nice. Is this by Lifelike? Yes, it's a Lifelike. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Got some sort of a searchlight car built by Lionel. An old Canadian National caboose. It's another Hobby line. Sort of a hopper. Got some various couplers and stuff. Check out this old Baby Ruth boxcar. This is made out of wood. Somebody must have built this by hand. Kurt's Craft. Huh, I've never heard of that brand before. And got a Southern Pacific passenger car of some sort. I don't see any brand on that. I have no idea who it's by. Sort of an unusual piece, but looks to be in okay condition. Oh boy, even more rolling stock. Check this out. These look really vintage. All made out of wood. Okay, I kind of pulled the roof off of this one. I think this is a Lifelike. Nope, another Varney. Got another wooden one. I love these old vintage box cars. Those are awesome. Hormel Good Food. New York Central. More New York Central stuff. Some sort of a gondola car. Got an old cattle car of some kind. It's a really vintage Swift car. The stuff is just awesome. This one's got a European style coupler on it from the Wabash. And then that one looks to be quite similar. And then finally, we've got this box right here in a really vintage bay box. Let's see. Even more rolling stock. Look at this. Hand rolled. I don't think I've ever seen this before. All made out of wood. So this one, as you can tell, is not finished. We've still got a whole bunch of different parts in here, but what a cool piece. This is probably from about the 1940s or 50s. What's in it? What an interesting kit. I'm sure somebody on here will probably know something about this, but I don't recall seeing that brand before. Oh wow, look at this. Old Canadian Pacific crane. Also probably from about the 1940s, all wooden structure. Seen better days. Maybe we can fix that one up, I don't know. We've got some sort of a box car. This one's missing some parts. Got a flat car. No idea what it's supposed to be carrying. Oh, there's actually more stuff in here. An old logging car from Canadian, or the CN Railway. Look at this. This is just awesome. It's a brass and wood hopper of some sort. I find all this stuff from the 40s just so fascinating. I mean, this is how people would have done all their model railroading. You know, you would have bought kits, put them together, and built your own layout. You know, you just don't see a lot of this stuff anymore, and I just find it so fascinating. I'd love to fix up a whole bunch of these cars and run them with my old Varney locomotives, which would also be correct for the time period. Got a Canadian Pacific refrigerator car. MKT of some sort. Another auto car, Texas Pacific. So I think that that's about it for these boxes. Now the last one we've got left is that bridge. So excited to see what this thing looks like. What have we got here? My goodness. Wow. Yeah, check that out. Some sort of a wiring system connected to it. I have no idea what that is for. But yeah, what an incredible bridge. You can see it's missing a couple trusses here and there, so it's gonna need some work. It actually looks like we've got one of them here, so this might have got dropped at some point. But still, what an incredible looking bridge. I mean, it's massive. It must have been part of a lift out section from what I'm guessing. I suspect that's why there's all this wiring associated with it. But still, what an interesting piece. I don't know if I have room to incorporate this on the layout, but this had to have been scratch built. I mean, just check it out. Brass rails, somebody's nailed it down individually. What an amazing piece. Well, folks, I think that I'm going to wrap the video up right here. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for some future episodes, because I think that there's going to be a lot of really interesting content coming down the line, featuring pretty much everything you see right here, because there's just so much cool stuff, which is definitely going to be unique to work on. One thing I certainly want to do is some sort of a 1940s/50s running session featuring all these cars. You know, a lot of them are going to need some work, as we saw, but I don't think it's gonna take that much to get them going again. You know, a little bit of cleaning, a few wheels here and there. Even the original couplers, you know, we might be able to use those, and I think it would make the whole experience that much more authentic. So stay tuned for that. And as for the buildings and the turntable, I mean, again, those are going to need some work too, but I think that they're going to look awesome once they're done. I'm going to definitely put them either on my layout or possibly the layout which is currently under construction. So yeah, tons of cool stuff on the way. I'm so excited to get working on everything. Anyways, I just want to once again thank Brian so much for giving all this stuff away. It was ridiculously generous. And one more guy I want to thank is this guy Tom. He's the one who's friends with Brian, and he kind of set the whole deal up and brought the trains out to the ranch. So I'll give him a bit of a shout out as well. Anyways, with that, I'd just like to thank you all so much for watching.